morning, soon to be afternoon, Sunday. I'm not sure does that mark the end of the week or the beginning of the week? Now there's a discussion, and I have no doubt that someone out there is going to respond to that. Either way, it's Sunday, which marks the end of a Make Movement Your Mission week in context of our shift changes. So today we'll be concluding the get down and up from floor focus, the twist, the extra bit of that we've been considering throughout my noons this week. All right, Miss P, come on in. And tomorrow is a shift change. So today, folks, now I'll wait a bit longer for the menu, I think, otherwise I have to repeat myself, which I'm okay to do, but let's just say some hellos. Ken's in. All right, Ken, coming on in. Where are you? What room are you in? Are you in dining room, kitchen, lounges, conservatories, bedrooms, studies, lofts? Where are you? Weather is indifferent. Weather's a bit, can't decide. Thankfully, no white stuff. This is always good. It looks good, but causes a bit of disruption, doesn't it? Morning, Doris. Soon to be afternoon. Thank you for the waves. I'll start getting you in the zone, and I'll repeat myself. Today's movement snack is in two parts, I think. There's a doing part and perhaps a watching and considering part. So thank you, Chris. Chris is in the living room. What room are you in? I suppose what I want to know is what kind of furniture have you got around you? Have you got a chair? Have you got sofas? What you got to hand? You got cushions? You got things? Have you got cushions? You know, decorating, aesthetically pleasing cushions. Or do the cushions on your sofa remove as well? I'm not suggesting. No, that's not what we're going to be. No. It is of course important to say, I'm not suggesting that you follow the second part of this movement snack and your device and try and see what I'm doing. I am going to be doing some lower level moves down onto floor for you to really have a look at and consider, not suggest. You try to watch what's going on and replicate what I'm doing. Anyway, two parts today, moving parts. We'll put in the cert boost and our usual mix of movements. And then just a bit of information, I think, and a bit of demos. And what I really wanted to do was join all of the dots on the moves that we've been doing this noonday. And if you saw my pre-message, I posted a couple of images of myself in one leg kneel and rising from that position, just to demonstrate all of the joint angles that we need for this series of moves and how we've tackled those this week. Ready to progress lunchtime moves if I can. Indeed, have a look to progress if you want, but have a look, and it's definitely a movement snack to take away. It's a takeaway. It's a takeout. It's a takeaway movement snack today. That is to say, maybe right now in this moment isn't the time. You might want to take it away, put it in a doggy bag and take it away for later. Gloria's on time. All right, Gloria. Vivian's in. Bolton. Hello. Sandra's arrived. All right, folks. Probably ready for the finale. I did call it a finale. I might have overread the expectation on that a bit, Vivian. Carolyn's in. All right, Carolyn. Right. Let's get in the zone then. Okay. Thanks for your messages and comments, folks. This is the theme of this week's Noondays, and this page appears on. I'm a bit out of date because I haven't got a 2022 one. Imagine that says 2022. On the back page of our active calendar, there are a kind of 10-step process, and of course it is important to state the obvious. There is a process, but we're all individuals, and it may well be that more input, some deviations to the theme may be required. We call this tailoring for the individual. I can't tailor this for each of you today because you can see me and I can't see you, but many of you may have experienced working with either physiotherapists or exercise specialists in understanding the optimal way for you to get down and up again. So I'm going to do a 3, 2, 1. Good afternoon, Bex Townley from Later Life Training. That was probably a bit of a lengthy preamble, but I think warranted today. Moving stack in 2 parts, a moving section and then a series of demos for me to just kind of anchor and put everything we've done this week into perspective. Don't just follow me along here. So have a listen, have a watch and consider which of these demonstrations might be something that you could work towards. Just get on with it. Ready, steady, go. Anyway, let's get out of the way. So because of today's theme, I've had to do a bit of an angle jig because my external support is the chair here, or it could also be the corner of the wall here. But I am going to be utilising the sofa here. I don't know what kind of space you're in. I just really suggest have some external support close to hand and just have a watch and consider the second part of this movement snack and decide which bits might be for you. To begin with, let's just get the circ boost done. Standing prompts for circ boost, weight even across both feet. You might want some external support close to hand, fixed and firm. Lift a little bit taller and then get going. Steady state, boosting the circulation. So this is consistent movement. More ankles, feet and toes involved in the mix, and then add in the other parts as and when you're ready. It might be double arms, you might want to park up the legs and then just focus on the arms, or bring it all together. Just a flurry of steady marching that will bring on this need for some deeper breaths. Here are your seated prompts. Now on this angle you can see here my sofa is low, my hips are lower than my knees, therefore probably not going to be comfortable to do a seated march, and it's going to be harder to stand up. But for now, just imagine that it's of knee height, and let's take the circ boost in sit here. So lifted up through the trunk, a little bit of left, a little bit of right, bringing it together when you're ready. What height chair or sofa are you in? If you too are feeling a bit squashed here, then the full seated march isn't probably going to be comfortable, but you can do heel raises bit by bit here, and it might be that you just go for some steady extensions through the legs like so. A full march is just going to be too much of a squash for me in this position, so I'm going to focus on upper limb. Either way, even the upper limbs moving steadily, consistently over a period of time is going to have the effect of just lifting the heart rate. So I'm going to push up to stand, join the standard operas, it's more comfortable for me here. And then just take a pause. Of course you have the option to do your wandering circ boost if you want to go for a wander as well. Circ boost done. Alright, the first part of this movement snack, we're going to do some lower limb and some shoulder and trunk moves, and then I'm going to move into a couple of demonstrations to help understanding of what we've been doing this week. Alright, in stand, knees in threes. We need to be able to bend the knees and the hips and extend the legs also. Here's your standing options, knees in threes. So finding your range of motion around the hips, taking a bit of a weight shift in between each one, changing legs, knees in threes. You really need to be able to find a comfortable range of motion around the hips. So can you find 3 levels? And that third level brings you about hip height. A little bit of as many adjustments in between the legs as you can. You might want the support in front of you, or you might want the support to the side of you. So knees in threes, is your first movement in stand. Seated option, so carry on standard uppers if you want to rehearse knees in threes. Seated option, we don't want to practice knee raises in seated because we're already here. We're going to rehearse knee extension, so we're going to take steps out, extend, extend, and then little incremental steps back again. So you're practicing your legs straighten, your knee extend, and your knee bend. We need to be able to bend the knees. Or certainly bending knees will help with getting up from the floor. Second movement of the movement snack, I'm going to push up to stand. Following knees in threes, we need to be able to find toes behind. So a couple of toe placements in stand, leaving the heel up. It's kind of halfway to a calf stretch. So we're not putting the heel down because we need to find toes. So there's your second part of your standing prompts. If you would like, from here you can progress to a knee bend and return. Any change of position of the feet in stand is going to have potential to increase the balance challenge, which is why you want a firm fixed support. Let me show you that again. So we're practicing the toe hinges, then go for the bend, return, and back to there, 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 there. And it may be that these moves are the very start of preparation to get your joints ready to feel more confident at trying rehearsals to get up from floor. Everyone will have a very different start point. In sit, we've done extend and bend. Extra feet in sit options are your heel raises here. And as much as we're going to get the calves working here, the calf muscles, the primary thought or the consideration in context of getting up from the floor is to be able to move the feet, the foot, leave the ball of the foot behind there. So having movement in the feet. And if legs are involved in your day, you can rehearse this in seated without any balance challenge. Okay, shoulders and trunk, another critical series of moving parts so that we can roll around in bed, turn from side to side, sit up, swing the legs round to come up to stand, mobilise on a sofa, get down and up from floor. So trunks and shoulders, got a bit of a movement montage for this one. So we're going to go for Cossack arms there. Sit or stand is the same for this one. So if I come up to stand, show you here. There we're going to get the trunk extending and the shoulder working there. Into a few of the shoulder rolls with an extended arm. So you're going to switch between there's one, there's two. So we're bringing in the arms on the second one, adding in straight arm extensions there, and then finishing with a flurry of over the tops and around the back, and then change. So it's a reach and a drop down and then around the back, and you might feel coordinated to do those at the same time. We need shoulders and shoulder blades in order to manoeuvre around on the floor. Okay. I'm going to move into part 2 of the movement snack now, and I'm going to offer you just 3 visuals, 3 demonstrations. I'm not suggesting that you do these with me at the same time. I do suggest that you have a sit or a stand, have a watch at what I'm about to show you, and then think about how your wrists, shoulders, hips, knees, feet feel. And perhaps one of these things you might want to practice at another time. Okay, I am going to show how we can start to use a piece of furniture to get down to a one kneel position. I'm not going to do the full demo of lying on the floor. I haven't got time for that. But the real critical thing is feeling confident to get down to one knee. So I'm going to focus on that today. All right, I'm going to stand side on to my sofa here for lots of reasons. There's more than one way to do this. The reason I'm going to stand onto the sofa is I'm going to progress this from a standing, pausing knee bend, as we call it. So here we can start to get our wrists and our shoulders ready. So maybe just start to build with a few pausing knee bends. And then once you feel confident with that level of hip hinge and support with hands on knees, can you see I'm nudged right up to my sofa here? I'm going to progress that to bring in a bit of load through my arm. So there, testing out how does my arm and how does that wrist feel, and I'm going to come up to stand. I need to do the same for the other arm, but to do the other arm I'll need to take a turn and I'll need to rehearse here. Pausing knee bend, there is the weight through the arm, and then there's the stand. Rehearsing that, because the next step is I'm going to take a step. I'm going to take a step forward and I'm going to progress my pausing knee bend position to bring my one knee to the floor. But for this demo, I'm going to use the leg nearest the sofa. You'll see why in a moment. So if I'm comfortable with pausing knee bend, I'm going to step, pause to sofa, and then push back up to stand, get to balance. And your start point might be to rehearse the steps. We do these all the time, don't we, in the noon days? This is why we do so much stepping practice. Heel down at the front foot, heel up at the back foot. We rehearse this a lot. This is the direct application of step, down, push back up. There. So we've got the hip hinge, we've got the step, we've got the wrists, bit by bit, not loads and loads. If you know you feel confident with that, we can finally come down to knee to floor. From here, you can either just have a squeeze out of it, have a pause here, then push up to stand, or you can progress to the step, the down, and the back up. The good thing about the sideways approach is it's there if you need it, and you have that option to just have a bit of a squeeze to the side. Other ways to do this, and certainly in the active calendar, as I showed you before, if you're confident with balance, you're going to get more support by using two arms, folks. So have a look at this version. Here, I think you can see, there I've got my step, I've got my reach, there's my knee, there's my lift, there's my back, there's my push. So there's benefits, and it may be that the front on approach using two arms isn't an option for you, so your strongest side is going to be on this sideways version there. So that's one thing, that's one demo for you to have a look at. We've been doing a lot of back arm presses this week, and there are many scenarios when utilising the legs, utilising that step position and the hips and the knees and the ankles may not be the way for you. So there's another fundamental way that we can get up and down to low levels, and I think it's obvious what that's going to be. You can see where I am here. I can further use cushions. Cushions are great for knees and buttocks. So you can start to, once you've started to feel you've got confident wrists and shoulders and all those things we've been doing this week, the next step is to take more load and maybe just take a little tester of how you feel taking your body weight. That's why it's so significant that we continue to work on movements that help us to support the body weight. So if you're not quite ready for the lowering phase, you've got your fist action here, or you've got your heel of the hand action. Legs can be involved, and then you can start to just have a little bit of a lower down and a push off. And as you can see and feel, over time, we can start to feel more confident to lower down and push up onto sofas. Firm, steady footstools, pouffets, stairs, first steps on rung of stairs. In the event that you feel you're in a position where you need to get up from the floor, if you've had a fall or you've got down onto the floor to look under the sofa and then realise that you're struggling to get up again, look and find pieces of furniture that can support that. This is why we do so much pushing activities. Certainly this week we've done lots of wrist type moves as well. So let me just give you a recap on today's movement snack. We did knees and threes, and it might be that just doing these types of movements are preparing your hips ready to rehearse this skill. We also did toe hinge practice with back of knee bends also. In seated, still getting hips and knee bends ready in sit positions can be done. And also in seated, you can get your feet ready also. You're going to need these feet for hooks and push drivers up from stand. The 3 demos, then we had the trunky ones. We did some Cossack arms, getting shoulders ready, and we did some over the tops and around the backs, and then some coordinated left and rights. Demos again, sideways on or front ways on. So your front ways on is your step and your bend and your lower and your push and your return. You see the feet and the toe positions in there. If you have a stronger or a weaker side, that double arm option might not be an option. So sideways on, pausing knee bends is your first check. Front heel down, back heel off, and then you can push up to stand, or you can control the down and then just go for a little squiz onto the side. Then back arm practice, either with a firm fixed wrist position or heel of hand, and bit by bit you can start to rehearse up and down. Things like cushions are really great to make that range of motion smaller. Also, let me just crowbar in here. Practicing you're picking up and getting objects to floor. So here you can add an extra soft landing for knees. So lots of different ways, cushions, things, stuff that can help. That really was a whistle-stop tour. Appreciative of the fact that many of you probably would benefit from some specific input from professionals, health professionals or exercise professionals that you may already be working with. But without a doubt, there are also many of you that won't, that perhaps just want a bit of information to think with, to percolate round, and then go, yeah, I can have a go at that. Sofas, beds, just use these platforms and areas to rehearse moving parts in context of shifting your body weight. Such a vital skill. If you can already do it without concern, getting up and down from the floor, rehearse it at least once a week. If it's something you're working towards, remember, gain is accumulative, little bits, change happens over time, so just keep going and improvement will come. Rightio, that's it. That's me done on news this week. Thanks for your interest in this week's topic. I'm on 4pms tomorrow. I don't know what the others are doing. I think you've got Chaos on 8s and Dave on noons, but undoubtedly there'll be some double whammies in there. Rightio folks, that's it. I'm off. See you tomorrow, 4 o'clock, if not before. And do let us know your comments on this week. Thanks folks, bye for now.